one of the biggest difficulties for me too is how do you maintain the authenticity throughout the years? It's very tough. I'm more of a studio rat. Love being in the studio, love making new music. But when you go out and play live, I have my moments where it means the world to me, and then I have moments where I find, there's the parody, there's this whole, you loop into this sameness, the repetition, and then you're in the business of nostalgia, and then I feel like a total fraud.
Hi, I'm Esther Medina, host of Una Conversación, a place to have a conversation with the noisemakers, the trailblazers, and the game changers all around me. In November 2024, the Latin Grammys celebrated their 25th anniversary, and thanks to Latinos Magazine and Sony Music Canada, I had the privilege to attend the ceremony and sit down with an array of talented artists. In this series, you can listen to all those conversations. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. Draco, we are here for you today.
Yes.
Congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
Grammy nominations.
Yeah.
I need to know, do you still get butterflies?
No, I mean, I get excited. I'm happy because it's not just about me. We have all the musicians, the production behind it. There's so much going on. I mean, there's some decisions that lay on you, and you don't mind being decisive about going in a direction, but that goes only so far. And then there's this whole team. There's the process of picking hopefully the right musicians for a specific task that you're hoping to something you're hoping to achieve, and then documenting it properly, and you're making sure that there's a whole line of layers of you want the synergy to be there, and then even here, right? So it is. So the butterfly thing comes, the excitement, and I'm excited for everybody along the line there that has put their sweat into the project. So, but deep down inside, I always try to differentiate the fact that we don't make music for these awards, right? We don't. It's not like I gotta make this record and because I have to do it for this reason, right? There's this beauty of walking in the gardens when we go to a botanical garden, and we discover all the flowers and the music and the discovery of something, and having a virgin plot, and that you're sort of hired to go in and build this beautiful garden, and then people come along and they join in, and then of course the culmination of it all is here, right? The prize, right? So the garden wins. This is the best botanical garden, and so I find the beauty and the potential of at least what I feel and where it takes me, and the things I smell, the things I feel, the hair standing, and there's so many beautiful things that happen, the romance, the love, the tears that can come after hearing a song several times and still be moved by it. I go, wow, so we're onto something, I think,
That's really special. First of all, that was poetry. I want to write that down and frame it. But it's so special to me that you see it that way, because it kind of shows like the experience and the love you have for what you do. And obviously it's a true love because you've done it for so long. But at the same time, it's also a contrast, right? Perhaps your first Grammy, you may have only been thinking of yourself, whereas this Grammy it's different now. There's people involved, like there's other people who were aligned with your goal and your vision. So I think it's really special that, not dismissing that you are appreciative, but also understanding that it's not just about that, and there's so much more involved, and it's such a much bigger picture. I think that's a really thoughtful reflection. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody asked me a few days ago about the first Grammy. The first Grammy, I thought it was a bittersweet. I thought, wow, this is great. I won a Grammy. And I was like, is this the end? I'm like, the first Grammy, I was like, no, well, how do you process it, right? And I remember Avaroa in the Grammys. He was like, I had lost whatever. They didn't pick my record, and I was backstage, and he gave me a big hug. He says, "Remember, only the strong survive." And I was almost, I thought it took as an insult. I was like, God, arrogant. Something. What does that mean? You know, I just saw him a few days ago, and I'm always we always have a good laugh, and it's true, stay focused, make sure your north is that beauty, right, and that razón, right, the reason behind is such it's directly linked to oxygen in some profound way. I know it sounds kind of like what, but it is. To be able to sleep better, to be part and be a contributor, at least for me, humanity, there's an opportunity, right? You write these songs and, that's the longest contract. Nobody can ever change anything in that contract. That is it. And so you pen, humbly pen your name, and then it's like, it ceases to be yours, we will cease to be, and yet that it just goes on. And it's a beautiful thing. And one of the biggest difficulties for me too is how do you maintain the authenticity throughout the years? It's very tough. I'm more of a studio rat. Love being in the studio. Love making new music. But when you go out and play live, I have my moments where it means the world to me. And then I have moments where I find, there's the parody. There's this whole you loop into this sameness, the repetition, and then you're in the business of nostalgia. And I feel like a total fraud, right? Because the stories, cease to carry their weight because time has passed, So it's a lot to take in.
Well, I think that for upcoming artists, I hope they get a chance to hear your words, because I think it just shows how to be sustainable, but also the honesty and the rawness of the fact that, it's something you grapple with to maintain your authenticity as you change as an artist and grow.
That's why you get into farming, motorcycles, coffee, all the other good things, yeah.
Draco, before I let you go, your new album, Reflejos de lo Eterno, what do you hope your listeners take away from the album after giving it a listen?
Well, we go back to these, genre things, right? Where it's nice to be able, a great song's a great song, right? And the perfect example is the very first song, right? Sin Documento, Los Rodriguez, great song. Obviously they made it huge, and it was, it's a rock song, and to be able to go and flip it a little bit, and it's just such a beautiful song. We have percussion, and it still fits into that space, and. It's a great moment of storytelling. I love it. There's se amarran varios mundos, right? There's Cuban, Puerto Rican, and Spain, and Argentina, and somewhere we're all in one song. So it was a great a moment of a decision before going into it. Going no guitars, that was fun, and a bit of shedding the unknown. And we landed on something beautiful. With the analog keys, and obviously, making sure you pick the right players. Not every bass player can handle that because there's a lot of space. So you deal with minimalism, with the perfect bass player for that, and a very eclectic drummer that can adhere to some of the rock stuff, but be somewhat, free to do other things. I think it was a good selection. I think it was a fun recording, that's for sure. And I'm really happy about the decision of no guitars for this specific moment.
Well, it sounds like you left something beautiful for us to listen to. And thank you for staying the course and doing that with so much love and passion. It's been a pleasure to sit here. An honor, honestly. And congratulations again. Please have the most fun. It was so nice talking to you.
All the best.
Thank you.